What's up, guys? Back with the overview of my squat day. It's just a deload week. Obviously, I was lifting coming into this, but this is pretty much my week one of my comp prep. Took a deload here, just 3 sets of 3 with pretty lightweight. And typically, for my deload weeks, I usually get in and out as fast as possible because ramping up to a heavy single, the days start getting longer. So anytime I get a chance to make it a quick workout, that's what I'm going to do. So knock these out, took a minute rest between. It was such a low weight that I think I did 1 or 2 warm-up sets, just made it as quick as possible. Discuss this a little bit during my deadlift day with my box jumps. I focus on making sure I'm pushing through both legs equally. For the jumps, I also make sure to focus on that with squats. I've had an issue before where I favored one side and had to work to resolve that. And now with the situation I have with my knee, it's the same thing. It's just pushing through both legs equally and making sure that I'm not favoring one side. When my knee starts acting up, squats are where I see the favoring of one side. It's been a little sore, recently moved. It wore my knee out. I think my knee was bothering me for 2 weeks after that. So coming back from that, it's a little sore, making sure I'm not favoring it. It's a light day, so that's not going to happen here. But next week, I do have a heavy single. I have not gone heavy on squats in a long time. So I hurt my knee a long time ago in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I never got an MRI on the knee because it wasn't that bad. And with the manual tests that they do, the doctor had a good idea of what the problem was. The MRI wasn't going to give them enough information to change their recommendations for rehabbing it. And so essentially it came out to be, they basically were pretty sure with their manual tests that I had partially tore my LCL and lateral meniscus. And this was in jiu-jitsu, just planting my foot and having it slip out from underneath me. So I've been dealing with that for around 2 years, and I've had ups and downs. So after my competition, my first competition last year, my knee was just destroyed. It was swollen and bothering me for a couple weeks after. Ended up going to the doctor again just to make sure I didn't make anything worse. And same thing. They're just like, you stressed it more than it had been ready for, or like that it had been prepared for, which is just going to happen with a competition. And it is going to be sore and have some inflammation. And went to the physical therapist, got some exercises, and it's just what it is. After that, I was doing box squats with a safety squat bar. I got pretty heavy with those. Don't remember the exact weight. I think I worked up to 3 sets of 2 with 545, which is pretty heavy, but the box was not to parallel. So it was not a full range of motion squat, mostly because at the time they told me to avoid going past parallel while my knee was still recovering from the competition. So we gave that some time, but still worked the strength. And it's strongman. I'm not squatting to depth in any event. So it's just increasing leg strength. It's not the end of the world, but that was the last time I went heavy. And like I said, it wasn't a full rep. So next week when I have to hit my heavy single, it's going to be interesting to see what I can do. I definitely want to hit into the 500s. I don't know how far. Up until now, I think the heaviest I did on squats was 345, 3 sets of 5. So really light. I think I've hit I think my PR, my all-time PR in squats is high 500s, 585, 595, something like that. So 3 sets of 5 for 345 is nothing. So I'd be happy to hit a 500 plus single next week. Let's see. After squats, I do some leg press, some leg extension. I also do hammer curls. I recently started getting some more arm, like bicep and tricep isolation exercises. Typically hadn't been getting those prescribed. So it's, I don't know, hammer curls aren't my favorite. It doesn't really give you the bicep pump. And I know it's more for that brachioradialis muscle here. And I'm sure it's more strongman specific, but I haven't done bicep curls and I don't know. I honestly have no idea when the last time I did any sort of bicep curl was before these hammer curls. Next, I did some Bulgarian split squats. I use a lot of Bulgarian split squat holds for some prehab type stuff, just to strengthen the knee joint and the tendons in the knee. Now I'm adding some weight and movement with those. So even when I'm not favoring my knee and my lifts, I try to, when I do some single leg stuff, my right knee is obviously weaker or just not as comfortable in the movements. So for these Bulgarians, I could probably do a lot more on Bulgarian split squats with my left leg than my right leg leading. So I've started lowering the weight. I was trying to meet in the middle and push my right leg, and it wasn't really working out. So I lowered the weight some more and just focused on having that mind muscle connection with the quad and my right leg. Something I've noticed is after Bulgarians, my left leg will be fried, sore, really pumped, and my right leg, not to the same extent. And so lowered the weight and really made sure to focus on using the proper muscles. I'm not sure if I'm using the back leg in the Bulgarian split squat to help out, but I've lowered the weight so I can focus on doing it the right way or using the correct muscles, hopefully to prevent that and just to build up the stability and strength back in that right leg. The strength is there. I think it's just the stability and maybe even some sort of subconscious mental blocking I have going on. But that wraps up my squat day. Next week, I'm going to hit a heavy single. Hopefully that goes well. I have events tomorrow and everything's still pretty light, but it's still like my favorite day of the week just because I get to do some events. They're a lot more fun than just being in the gym doing the same lifts every week. But all right, I'll see you guys then.